Outer Orange.
Hi guys, my name is Alan, aka Adam Sleeve, and I just topped the past, which was Springfest Duluth, Georgia, 4th place. I played Astro Poets.
Play Astro Poets, right? And what made you decide to take Astro Poets?
Well, my whole theme for Saturday was I want to finish my opponents as quickly as possible, just like rush them down with all the force marker generations and Valkyrion. Just the base 70k is just strong for most decks.
How did you get to your win con?
Important cards you want to get in your starting hand is Big Crux, and after it is Fervent Will. So Big Crux, when you ride upon it, you can Soul Blast 1, reveal Astro Poet or Astro Deity from your hand, and search for this into your hand. And this card is just really good. So on place, Vanguard or Rearguard, you could Counter Blast 1, reveal Astro Poet or Astro Deity from your hand, and generate a force marker, and draw one card if Big Crux is excellent. And afterwards, if you already got your grade 3 Heavenly Light Uranus in hand, and you have Aeogenesis, you can call it to counterblast 1, search for Valkyrion, and get your 3rd force marker on your Vanguard. And then if you just have like another Astral Poet like Gleaming Lord Uranus, call it to Rearguard, and you call Valkyrion by Soul Blasting these 2 cards, which counts as 5, since the grade 2 in Soul, it counts as a grade 4. So you can get your Astral Plane out on like your grade 3 turn, first grade 3 turn. You call Valkyrion, and Valkyrion's skill on place top 5. Choose one card from among them and put into the drop zone, and this unit gets the unit's drive check for that turn.
Okay, so pretty much what sounds like it's a big force generating approach, and you just have like these like insanely high numbers because Valkyrion is 70k, right?
Correct.
Awesome. Okay, well you just described some of the cards. Let's go ahead and see kind of what the deck profile is looking like.
So we run 4 Great Deity of Distant World, Valkyrion. So this is our main finisher and main beat stick, since it's a 70k attack. And it can also do drive checks on the back row, so it's very important to also, so if you get triggers, you could stack it on your front row, and it's just generally really good, and the deck revolves around this one card. We go into Origin Deity, Uranus. This is our main right target most of the time, because after your Valkyrion attacks, he says that at the end of the battle, I could rest 2 Astral Poets and restand a Valkyrion for another powerful attack. So this is really good. And you could temporarily get an Astral Poet, Astral Plane by this Soul Blasting multiple cards equal up to the great sum of 5. So you could get the like that, but it won't stay. And then we run 4 of Gleaming Lord Uranus. This card is also good as a backup for when you don't draw into Origin Deity, because on ride you could get a force marker, and the skill also says on place you could Soul Blast 2, get additional force marker. So you could generate more force markers either way, just this isn't ideal. But the good thing about this is once you have 5 force markers on the Vanguard, the Astral Plane does stay on the field. So unlike Origin Deity, you wouldn't have to get rid of the Astral Plane at the end of the turn. So this is pretty good. And then we move on to the best grade 3 in the deck, which is Aeogenesis Dragon. This card, on place, you can counterblast 1, search your deck for up to 1 Valkyrion, and add it to hand. And if you do search it out, your Vanguard gets a force marker. So that's really good for hand and the force marker. And this also acts as a good perfect card. If you read its 3rd effect on Guardian Circle, you could discard an Astral Poet or Astral Deity from your hand, and it will just make the attack of that battle not hit. So this card is really good. And then we run 4 Heal Guardian grade 3. So I would run this over the grade 0. Is because with Valkyrion, if I got the grade 0 heal trigger, I wouldn't get any drive checks, right? But if I do see one of this, and this is the best option to go to, I would get this and do a triple drive with Valkyrion and see my better options. So this is good. Fervent Will, she's really good on place. 2nd turn, counterblast 1, reveal Astral Poet, Astral Deity, get a force marker, and if the crux is in the soul, you draw one. So it's really good, generating hand, force markers, relief pressure. It's amazing. All right, and then we move on to the best grade 2, Phenomenus. So on attack, it says it gets 5k for each force marker that you have on the field in total, not just Vanguard. So it could get really high up there since you're generating markers every turn, almost every turn. And it's second. And if you're like missing a few cards in hand, you can also counterblast one for its axe skill once per turn. If your Vanguard has 3 or more force markers, you could draw 1 card. So that really helps with hand generation and everything.
Also, just personal questions. So some people run the other grade 2, the one that says on place counterblast, soul charge, put a card from hand to soul.
Yeah.
You chose this one because of mainly the power, I assume?
For this build, I'm trying to go full aggro on my opponent, like trying to end them in like turn 3, turn 4.
Yep, nice.
And then the crux, you already know what it does. Soul Blast 1 on place Vanguard, reveal Astral Poet, Astral Deity from a hand, and get the grade 2 out, add it to hand. But its other skill is, after it's retired from Guardian Circle, I could add this to hand, Soul. So this is really good for when I'm on Origin Deity, Soul Blast, for enough cards to Soul Blast out to get Astral Plane temporarily, or I call it Gleaming Lord if I'm like in need of another force marker to Soul Blast 2 and just get that. So yeah, this card I must need in the deck. And then we move on to 4 copies of DK. DK says on place, put a card from your hand to soul and look at top 7 cards and reveal up to 2 Astral Poets. And if you reveal up to 2, you get a force marker. So that's very good for early game aggression. Like, give it crux, you call out DK, get a force marker on it. You attack, swing with DK, and then you swing with your Vanguard, that's 18k. Most decks are either gonna take it or waste their hand early on to guard it. And then we run 1 Skull. Skull is in the possible situation where you don't get any cards in hand that are Astral Poets, or any cards in field that can help you, like Phenomenus, to draw. So you would call this like a top 5 and hoping for a grade 3, which usually you would, since you run like about 16 of them.
Yep.
Yeah. So, and then it gets 5k for if you Soul Blasted this turn, so it's pretty good for 13k. The front rows.
Nice.
And then this is our starter. Nothing really cool about it.
No, that's the best boy. You got the best starter.
Peter Pan is what I call it.
Yeah, it's Peter Pan.
Alright, and then we move on to the triggers. I run 8 crit. 8 crit is of course for the aggression with Valkyrion. So you would swing with Valkyrion first, hoping for a crit or 2. If not, then you still got your big Vanguard with like tons of force markers to hopefully get a crit and give it to the restand of Valkyrion for more aggression. So of course, and then for lastly, we run the Draw PG. This is always really good, generates more hand, either drive check, damage check. And then this with its Anesis just makes the deck have a total of 8 PGs if we say it like that, so it's really good.
It's really interesting because I know a lot of people, including myself, actually run the 30k Sentinel crits over this just to add the aggression of Valkyrion's checks, and you decided to stick with the PGs.
Yeah.
That's really good. Plus, it also gets you draws and so you don't brick as well. So I like that. Well, thank you. Give me a nice.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye, y'all.
Thank you,
Adam's
Alan.
leave.